Hello and welcome to Bombay Talkies. In an industry that's often known for an almost stifling political correctness, Amitabh Bachchan is of the view that there is no such thing as a dignified silence anymore. Mr. Bachchan, thanks very much for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
At which point did you believe, as you were telling me recently, that there is no such thing as dignified silence? Was it after Raj Thackeray? Was it after Shatrughan Sinha?
No,
was it after Khalid Mohammad? What was the point?
I didn't exactly say that. I said that there is an opportunity now for me to express something without it going through a medium which may have the possibility of interference, of modulation, of wanting to correct the script or the draft or whatever. And because this was a direct approach and contact with the reader or the fan or whoever you want to call it, I felt that I needed to speak to him as frankly and as honestly as I possibly could.
But do you feel that you've almost set off a cycle now where the more combative you get in terms of responding to your critics, the more direct and more combative the criticism is getting as well? So some of it recently has been fairly sharp and strident.
Yeah. I think that you pick instances which are in a minority in my blog. And it's a shame that you're not able to pick some of the other more emotional or moments that have been connected to my own life.
Yes.
Moments that I spent with my father, moments that I discuss his poetry or his words of wisdom. They're there as well. And they get a lot more readership and a lot more reaction.
I didn't specifically
some
mean
of the things that you mentioned.
I didn't specifically mean in terms of your blog, but I meant just in terms of the kind of criticism of even your films, like Khalid Mohammad's review of Bhootnath. And he says, and I quote, "There was an actor I knew once who took my breath away. Guess I was impressionable. There is an actor I see now who makes me gag when I watch his desperado craftsmanship. The actor, sorry to say, is your good self."
This is a single person's opinion, and we will respect that.
You were, of course, quite strong in your own response to that on your blog.
Yes.
You said that he's the director of a series of flopped films. And
yeah, I think that if someone has the liberty and the medium to express himself, which can reach out to millions of people, and if I have a similar medium, I have the freedom and the democratic right to be able to do so also.
But do you think that you're at your level, do you think that you really need to be pointing out things about his own film career, or your insinuation that as editor of Filmfare he would get actors in exchange for promising them awards?
Well, if I was to go by the review that you just read, I shouldn't be at any level at all. So I don't know what level you're talking about. But I'm gracious that you say that I am at some level. And this has always been a contention.
That you're somebody.
Oh, you are somebody, you're up there, or, one doesn't expect this of you. What do they expect of me? I would like to know. Do they not want to treat me as a human being? I have always maintained that I'm just a normal individual, and with normal feelings, and I must have my rights and my occasions, if I do have one, to be able to express myself, which is what I've done.
Well, Khalid Mohammad, in a way, responds to that when he says it's facile, if not immature, to impute personal motives vis-a-vis criticism. Yeah. Would you agree with that? Do you believe that you've taken it too personally?
I think that anybody that reviews should not bring the personal aspect into it. You, as a member of the media, would know better. But yes, if someone is going to get personal, then if I have the liberty to be able to respond to that in a personal capacity, I would do it.
You found his criticism personal?
I think that, whatever I had to say for that moment, I already have.
Right.
I do not want to dwell further on this topic at all.
Okay.
Because it's not going to get anywhere. Somebody has the liberty to write. Somebody else also has an equal liberty to write. Matter is over.
What about Anurag Basu, who said that in his interview, he said that you should gracefully retire? He again expressed his great anger. He said he was a huge fan of yours, and that he found some of your recent work.
This is a democratic country, and it has a democratic freedom and liberty, and we will respect that. Well, so do I.
But is that a suggestion which you believe should be completely dismissed? You find that there's no substance in that suggestion, that some of the work that you're doing may not be up to the sort of standards which your fans and your admirers expect?
Well, you know, I will respect somebody's opinion, but I must be allowed to do what I want to do. And at some point of time, if I really am not capable, I wouldn't be working. I wouldn't get work. I'm grateful to God that I still get some work. It may not be up to the standards of Mr. Anurag Basu. I'm sorry about that. I will try harder.
You said that when you responded to Mr. Basu, you said that many of those who had criticized you, like him in the past, found their careers had taken somewhat of a downturn. And you hoped and prayed that a similar fate does not engulf him. What did you mean by that? Some thought that seemed like a veiled threat.
No, it isn't a threat at all. It was just good writing.
Is that what you'd call it?
Yep.
Mr. Bachchan, I wanted to ask you about this constant sense that comes up about your films, and again, it always gets compared to your earlier work. And there was a phase like that as well, when in some ways you were coming back from your sabbatical,
Right.
where you had a series of films that didn't do very well.
Right.
How would you describe that phase? Again, you said that you try to do better and you strive to achieve whatever you can, but was that phase different from now? Was that in some ways more born out of compulsions of those times than anything?
I think that the sabbatical that I took was, now at hindsight, a wrong decision. I should not have moved away from my craft and from my fraternity. It was just a sabbatical.
Right.
Politics was
Much earlier.
I think that once you detach yourself from your profession, you disconnect with what is going on. And then when you suddenly decide to come back, you feel that things have almost been stationary from the time you left it. That's the biggest fallacy. And I think that that's the mistake we all, well, if they were to be in my position, would make.